Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to the channel. Welcome, good morning, good morning, good morning. I know, I look raggedy and ravishing. Let it go. So, I thought about putting on some makeup, but y'all, I just couldn't make this morning because one, I'm a little bit tired, and two, allergies have been kicking my ass to no end. Like, my eyes are swollen a little bit bloodshot, like my nose is, oh, you know what it is, you know? And for my Caribbean people, for my Trinis that be watching me, let all you know, we are blessed and highly favored because I didn't know what allergies was until I moved to the United States of America. And then one year I realized I couldn't breathe and I didn't understand why. And I remember very distinctly because I was in college and I went to the health center in college and the doctor or the nurse or whoever she was like, it's allergies, like, duh. That was basically the attitude that she gave me, and y'all know how Caribbean people feel about attitude. But anyways, she gave me the attitude like it's allergies, and I'm like, what? Because I had never experienced them. I didn't know what allergies was. If you're watching me for the first time, just so you know, I was born and raised in Trinidad and Tobago, so the entirety of my formidable years, if you want to call it that, is growing up in a country where we have one climate, one temperature, nothing changes. So seasonal changes did a number on me. And they still do. I still feel like my body's like, no bitch, we are Caribbean, we are Trini, we will not accept this. So every year I struggle with allergies. So it does make putting on makeup at this time of year a little bit harder. I try to do it anyway because what I found is that when I do have makeup on, it prevents me from constantly touching my face, which is helpful for one, not only my acne, but two, preventing pollen from getting into places it shouldn't be anyway. But I just couldn't this morning, so that's why we are sans makeup. But like I said, raggedy and ravishing, that should be on a t-shirt somewhere. But that's not why y'all here. Today, I'm finally filming again. I haven't filmed in a week. I just haven't had the itch, you guys. I don't know. Something about wanting to film is not there. Don't panic. Don't worry. I'm not quitting YouTube, just so you know. I just feel like I was in a little bit of a lull. So now I'm getting out of the lull, and I'm starting it back with my new makeup releases video. Y'all know how we do over here. We look at all of the new products that just came to the market or are planning to come out sometime soon, and we talk about, one, how we feel about the products, the color story, all that fun jazz, and also two, how we anticipate that these products will sell, whether they will go on sale quickly, where you can pick them up at the best prices, how to save the most money, all of that. Now, if that sounds like your cup of tea, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Keep on watching because we're about to dive right in. Per usual, I'm going to be using Makeup on Your Radar's Instagram page. Definitely recommend, if you haven't done so, to follow Jamie. She is an amazing creator over on Instagram, and she curates new releases across all markets. I found that sometimes people tend to stick in a specific market, but she will give you indie, she'll give you drugstore, she'll give you high-end, she'll give you luxury, every single market. And honestly, that is no small feat. So if you want to know what's going on in all of the makeup streets in one place, definitely follow Makeup on Your Radar. So I have it pulled up on my phone. I'm gonna go ahead, scooch to the right so I can pop up some photos, and let's get started. And I'm gonna skip some things that I'm just not particularly interested in. So if I miss something, it's not on, well, it is on purpose. But if you really want me to talk about it, put it in the comments and I will try to get to it the next time. But I have been doing this on a less consistent routine. No, that's not the word. Less consistent basis than I had in the past. So these used to be done weekly. They're kind of on a bi-weekly cadence now. And as you guys know, makeup never stops releasing. So the pace in which these products are coming, I may need to pick it back up to a weekly basis. That being said though, y'all, it is sunning. And if you know me, you know that once sun is outside, Jamila's outside. So I'm having a hard time also finding time to film because I don't want to be inside. Just saying. Ooh, you know what? I have an idea. Maybe, and let me know what y'all think, I could do a new makeup releases outside. Like, I don't have a problem sitting down in the grass somewhere, on a bench somewhere, setting up my camera and filming new makeup releases. Because I really do need to be outside. I'm like I said, y'all, I'm Caribbean. I need some sunshine. So, I think I might try that. Because there's like a lot of open areas where I live. If that sounds like a good idea, put it down in the comments. If you want to see an outside new makeup releases, let me know, and I promise you guys I will try it. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so we have a new setting spray from Urban Decay. This is the All-Nighter Hyaluronic Acid Dewy Setting Spray. You know, I'm not surprised. I'm actually quite surprised that they took so long to release this because dewy makeup is the thing. I know I complain about it because I am oily and dewy things just look oily on me. They don't translate to that glow that everybody else gets. It translates to looking like oil on my face. So... But I know and I recognize that a lot of other people enjoy that dewy look. So I think this makes sense, you know? And I'm surprised it took them a while to come to this because it is pretty widely known that the all-nighter setting spray is really good for keeping your face matte. It didn't work for me, just so y'all know. It never worked for me. But I know that most people seem to appreciate it. So I think this will actually sell quite well. It's $36. Not bad. It's supposed to be... smudge, sweat, and transfer resistant. Okay. I don't know how that works for dewy things, like, but whatever. Dermatologist tested, allergy tested, cruelty free, etc, etc, etc. And it's currently available on the Ulta website. So, not bad. So, Hourglass has 2 new ambient lighting palettes. They apparently, I think, limited edition. So, Gauze Roll Edit. Wait. No, wait, hold on. New ambient lighting palette, Gold Rose Edit. Okay, I don't know much about these. I don't know what the name... That might not be the name, so let me roll it back. But they have 2 new palettes coming out. One seems to be... Both of these seem light. Let me just say that. Both of these don't seem to have any particular depth to them. One does look like it's more blush heavy, and the other one looks like it's more powder, like... I want to say bronzer, but that's a strong word because these aren't deep, like I said. More like setting powder-ish. So... I believe last time these came out, they were in the $90 range. They were expensive. And I also don't understand why they're coming out now. Because these typically come out, or these size palettes typically come out in the fall, Christmas time. So this is, timing of this is questionable. It's not questionable, but the timing of this is just new to me. That being said, I don't see anything about a release date here, so I am not sure when this will actually be available. The blush palette is really pretty, though. I think the blushes could work. I'm also wondering if these are repeat blushes, because we all know Hourglass has a tendency to take the same shades and put it in these palettes. So they look familiar. So I'm wondering if these aren't just going to be repeat shades that already exist in this condensed palette. Either way, I'm not going to pick it up. I think I have like 5 of those palettes. Y'all, funny story, and then we'll move on. I did buy 2 of the palettes from last year. I think I talked a lot of smack about it and said I wasn't going to buy it. And then I got a coupon code for I think a pretty decent amount off. So I picked up 2 of them. And these have been sitting in this box unused since I bought them. Quite frankly, I forgot about it until I saw that post. I was like, didn't I buy the ones from last year? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I still have not used them. The plastic is still on this, y'all. And this is the old one. I can't. I do myself a disservice sometimes. Like, do you know how much I paid for these? Even on sale, I know that I spent probably definitely over $150. Wow. So that needs to get used immediately. And like I said, I have the snake one as well. I also have 2 from last year and a couple others that I picked up on Mercari. I have a pretty sizable collection of those Hourglass palettes that I don't dig into enough. So I need to put them in my to-use basket because quite frankly, they're not cheap. So I need to get all the use out of them. So Notoriously Morbid has been sneak peeking this Unearthly Aura collection. Not gonna lie, it looks really nice. It also looks to have like a slightly different texture than what I'm used to for Notoriously Morbid. Their shadows tend to be very powdery. You definitely want to make sure that you spray your brush or you go in with a more tacky base because they have a lot of powder to them. They're a lot drier than most shadows in my opinion. But these kind of look a little bit wet. So I'm curious as to what this is. Is this a new formula? Is this a new... palette. Well, I think it is a new palette along with some new lipsticks, but I'm curious if it's a new formula or if they are just simply swatching it in a different way. Is it liquid shadows and not an eyeshadow palette? Question mark, question mark. It's going to be available on the 26th. Wait, I guess it's available now. yeah. I haven't seen anyone talk about. That's the thing with Notoriously Morbid too. I think they just stopped giving out PR. So like, buy it if you want it because you're not gonna see it on anybody before. weird, interesting business move. But yeah. So I don't know the price of this, but it should be available now. You can either use Radar 15 or I think it's Beauty and the Frizz 15. Kara has a code with them too to save 15% off. They also just did a buy one get one free sale on their eyeshadow palettes, and I bought two. I know I said I wasn't buying from them because I don't feel comfortable with the shipping time, but buy one get one free. I'll wait. I will gladly wait for a buy one get, like if you tell me I can buy one and get one free, it makes their palettes less than $20 a piece because I think they were like $35 palettes. One of them was $44, I think. But either way, it makes the price worth the wait. The price makes it worth the wait, if that makes sense. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't take like 4 months, but you know, I'll probably forget about it and it'll show up and I'll be like, ooh, great. Adept Cosmetics, they have a new setting powder that is available now apparently. I think I might have a discount code with them. It may be. If you are ever curious about my codes, just type in Jamila and it should work. Typically, that's the only code I ever use. It's just super easy to remember. But I have gotten PR from them before. I don't think they're just going to send me this powder because this is also a UK-based brand. So I think cost-wise, it's probably not the best to just ship this. Now, this is available in 10 shades, which I think is amazing for an indie brand to have this much shades. What I'm really intrigued by is that they have a pink powder and a lavender powder. Kind of want to try the lavender one because I've been kind of like liking how pink powder works on my golden undertone for my under eyes. And they also have two versions of the pink powder, which is not something that we've seen. So there is a silk shade and a lace shade. And the silk shade is medium rich with true red undertones. It's a pink powder. And lace is fair to medium with true pink undertones. So I love that they've thought about pink for different depths because some of these pink powders are just not going to work on deeper skin tones. So that's actually quite interesting. And then they have this organza shade, which is fair to medium with true cool undertones, which I think is also very interesting. So congrats to them on this release. Now this is talc free and fragrance free in case you guys were interested in talc free products. And it is only $26, which is not bad price wise. We have a release from Pat McGrath. She basically extended her Divine Cream Blush shade range. I think we get 4 new shades. 8 to 4. Some of them. But I've never tried this. I have no interest in trying this. They're $29 a piece. If you like it, if you like these shades, I guess. But yeah. New from Pat. And y'all know Patricia goes on sale every 2 to 4 business days. So definitely wait for a sale. This is nothing you need to rush out and get because it's not a new product. It's just an extension of the shade range. Okay, so Fenty Beauty has a new foundation. This is their Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I'm not interested. As you guys know, I don't want to be luminous. I don't want to glow. I've said it multiple times. This feels like it's going to be good. I know one of the things people disliked about Rihanna's original foundation was that some of it was just a little too orange. Like, it was a good foundation of its time, but I do think that it does need an update in terms of formulation. This is going to be $40. It's available now through the app, through the Sephora app, Lily Access. So, congrats again to Fenty. And we all know, Rihanna's going to give us range. So, you're going to get a good range of products. I think it's going to be probably the same amount of shades as the original release. But I do remember there were some folks who said that that they didn't find all of the undertones to exist for them. But yeah, I'm not excited by it. I'm like pretty neutral. I am again oily, and I would love to see somebody give me a matte foundation, especially now that it's summertime. I'm like, why y'all trying to play me? Why y'all trying to embarrass me in these streets? Because I'm already oily, and you want me to go out in Jesus's hot sun and get oilier? Oh no, that's just rude. So you guys have probably seen this everywhere. Sigma has a new eyeshadow palette. This is the Cool Neutrals eyeshadow. This was released, if you want to call it that, at the Creators and Friends event. I know a number of creators got it at that event. Did I talk about this before? I might have talked about this before, and I said to you guys, I think that this is a beautiful color story. I just don't like the Sigma formula. At least when I tried it, I was like, this is nice, but it's also like just nice. That being said, I know some people would just want like a nice eyeshadow palette, a nice eyeshadow formula. They don't want the crazy multi-chromes, holochromes, any of that. So if that is your vibe, if that is what you are into, you might actually like this, you know? Oh, it's at Neiman Marcus. Okay. I didn't know they sold there. But yeah, this is $52. It's kind of expensive. Yeah, that's kind of that is kind of expensive for like just basic shimmers, because it's metallics, satins, and mattes. Okay. This does have some warmth to it though, so like if you are like me and you are not comfortable with cool tones, this might be a good palette to get you kind of like in the door, to dip your pinky toe in the door of cool tones, because looking at this, it does seem like there's a number of like pretty warm leaning tones to this. So yeah, and I'm sure you can find reviews of, you know, the creators that did get this in PR at the Creators and Friends event, to see if it really is going to be something that's going to interest you. Okay, skipping a couple of things, I'm jumping to the release that has the indie community in a chokehold. This is the new Adept times, I guess, Adept and Amy Loves collab. Amy Loves Makeup is a YouTuber. She's been on the platform for a very, very long time. She's an OG in this space. And she was one of the first, if not the first creator that was beating the Adept Cosmetics drum. Now, this was back in the way back when Adept had, if I'm not mistaken, those sort of white label formulas and the mattes were trash. She was there at the beginning, y'all. Now, since then, I have to admit, Adept has completely stepped up the game. Their matte formula has changed. It's significantly better than it was. And the shimmers are, to my knowledge, that's all I'm saying, they are unique to Adept Cosmetics, as in it's their own formulation. So for this collab, we have an eyeshadow palette and a blush palette. Let me run through both of them. So the eyeshadow palette is going to be $69. You can use affiliate codes, and that will give you 10% off. I do have an affiliate code with Adept. It's just Jamila. So if you guys are interested in picking it up, you guys can get it there. I did not get this in PR. I'm not getting it in PR. I asked you guys if you would like to see me buy it to review it. Honestly, most of y'all said no. There were like a handful of y'all that were like, this is pretty, I want to get it. And like, even less of y'all that were like, I don't want this, but if you buy it, I'll watch it. So, but the vast majority of y'all said no. So it is described as the perfect cool toned palette that you've been waiting for. It has 1 multichrome, 1 holographic shadow, 2 duochromes, 6 shimmers, and 5 mattes. So when I saw this palette, I was like, oh, that's cute. But like, that was it. I did not feel any special tingle. I did not feel any real like excitement or interest in the palette. And let me explain why. This has nothing to do with Amy, by the way. So if you love Amy, hate Amy, this is nothing to do with her as a person. This is taking the eyeshadow as a standalone product. I think that when I saw the promo pics of this palette, all of the shimmers looked extremely icy. As a reminder, I am a black woman. I consider myself to be a medium deep complexion. In the summertime, I do become like a true deep. But I will describe myself as a medium deep complexion with a yellow/golden undertone. Light shimmers look extremely icy on me, and that's not the look or vibe that I've ever really gone for. So I was looking at the shimmers in this palette, and I was like, ooh, those are light, which means that they're going to look very, very icy on me. Now, in addition to those light shimmers, we have 4 deep mattes. And they all kind of look the same. I feel like there's a warm deep matte, a cool deep matte, and then like a black. And then, yeah, 2 cool browns, 2 warmish browns, 1 deep cool brown, and then a black shade. So I was also surprised that there were no true light mattes in the palette. So for me, I was like, is this a complete matte? Is this a complete palette because we have only deep mattes to work with? Now, my friends Kara and Dr. Ash did get this palette in PR, and I know Dr. Ash did create several looks with this. And she has said that the mattes are able to blend out, so you can use them as both a transition and a deepening up shade. So I think that that is great, because I was real worried about that for a second, y'all. But like I said, I was looking at the shades and I'm like, why are they so icy? So the iciness of the shades really is what turned me off from the jump, because I'm not someone that goes for true light shimmers or icy shimmers because they don't look, in my opinion, flattering on my complexion. At best, I will use them in like the very inner part of my eye or as an inner corner highlight, maybe a brow bone highlight, but this just had so many in there. So that was like the first thing that I was like, I'm not really feeling this. Secondly, it's a cool tone palette. This, again, has nothing to do with Amy. I'm just a warm toned gal. Like, I know everybody loves their cool toned palettes, but if you were to look at my collection, the vast majority of my palettes are warm toned because I think that that is what is most flattering on my complexion. That doesn't mean I can't wear cool tones. It doesn't mean that I don't wear cool tones. It just means that I don't gravitate towards cool tones. It's not my initial go-to, and it's not one that I will immediately pick up. Like, it has to be the right cool tone palette for me to go for it. And this just isn't it. There's also a couple of very pink leaning tones to it. Pink, and I say this wearing pink, but as a color, pink is not exactly one that I feel like I'm missing in my collection for the most part. Y'all know, Patricia gave us all the pinks that we could ever want. And pink is a very, very common color just generally. So I feel like with all of the pink leaning shimmers in here, I was like, meh, not really. Like, I didn't need any of it. The blues is what really interested me in this palette. And there is like one blue matte, and then like 2, 3-ish blue shimmers, but this is a 15-pan eyeshadow palette. So again, didn't really call to me at initial glance, and the more I stared at it, the less I liked it. Just saying. But that's my personal preference. I know there are folks that absolutely love this. Now let's talk about the blush palette. So the blush palette is, or the face palette as they call it, was created for pink blush lovers. It has 2 highlighters and 2 matte blushes that can be mixed and layered for your perfect pink flush. Again, this is, I am an orange gal. Pink blushes are not necessarily my immediate go-to. I prefer something that's a little bit more coral, a little bit more orange leaning, just because that's my undertone. I do want to flag, though, that taking my preferences out of this and looking at Amy and looking at her makeup style and her skin tone, her undertone, this collection makes perfect sense. Amy is extremely fair. Like, she is really, really light. So the icy tones for me are perfect for her. So I think the palette makes complete sense because of who it is in collaboration with. So I think it completely aligns with her, including this face palette. It makes complete sense because of how light and fair that she is and her undertone. Like, I am definitely very warm and would lean towards like the oranges, where she's more cool tone, would lean towards the pinks. One thing that did confuse me though about this face palette is that when I was looking at the swatches on the arm, if you look at the matte blush, the first matte blush on your left hand side, you'll see that it looks extremely rich on the tan and the medium and the deep arm. But when you look at the light arm, it looks a lot lighter. And I'm like, why is it so light? And that was confusing to me, because typically if that is a really, really rich shade, which is what it looks like on the medium and the deep arm, it would look extremely rich on the light arm. So I was like, are these shades photoshopped on? I'm not saying they are, but it did raise questions for me. I'm glad that they included a light and a deep shade. That way you can mix and match and get like the perfect pink for you, because the light pink is going to look dusty on like my complexion. So being able to mix it with the deeper one will be great. Pink is just also not, like, I have enough pink highlighters. So overall, while I think this is a beautiful collection for Amy, it makes complete sense, this is just not the collection for me. Now, if you were interested in the blush palette, it's going to be $34. Again, you can use a discount code, save 10%. The entire bundle is going to be available for $90. I'm hoping you can use a code with that as well and save 10%. Again, my code is Jamila. You can use Makeup on Your Radar's code, Radar10, save 10%. Or you could use Amy's code herself, and that gives her additional, like, profit from this this release. And her code is AmyLoves. So definitely use a code if you were planning to purchase this. Congrats, Amy. And make sure you guys check out Dr. Ash, Kara for a review of the palette. Okay, let's move along. And we are coming up on the 30-minute mark, and I know you guys have told me that that is where your limit is at. It's also kind of where mine is at too. I've come to realize I don't want to do hour-long new makeup releases videos, because I don't want to edit an hour-long new makeup releases video. But yeah, that's it. Anyways, let's move along to a palette, or another collab collection. So we were talking about this for some time. because this is the first collaboration that Blend Bunny Cosmetics has ever done. So Blend Bunny Cosmetics collabed with Ellis Atlantis, who I did not know, and they are a drag artist, drag queen. I think that's the right terminology. Drag queen. On their Instagram profile, it says that they are makeup artists, Glow Up Season 1 winner. This is a creator. I guess they're a creator. This is a creator, a makeup artist, a drag queen that I don't know. So I had no idea who the collab was with. This wasn't even on my like radar, or like I would not have guessed this. We got a full collection, y'all. So in this collection, there is a 45 shade palette, which is going to be $60. This is all available now. So it's $66. There are 2 blush palettes that are $26 each, and they are blush trios. There's a Celestial Cheek Glaze, which is $16, and you can get lash clusters with a reusable box for $12. So I did get this in PR, and hold on, y'all. Let me see. Allergies. And sorry, I know I've been itching and touching my face all throughout this entire video. It's because allergies are killing me. So I did get this in PR. I got everything except for the lashes, which it's so funny because I actually really wanted to try the lashes because I don't wear lashes. You guys know this. If you've been on this channel for a while, you've probably seen me wear lashes once, and that was probably in like my first 10 videos. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. I don't know how to do it. I'm not good at it. It looks like trash, and it's just uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable. But I was like, ooh, maybe I could try these little cluster things to give me a little, you know, extra like va-va-voom or something. So it's fine. I'll probably end up buying this on my own. But I was like, oh, I didn't get the lashes. But I did get everything else in the collection. So let's talk about the collection from, let's walk through this, because this might be the last thing that we talk about today. So first up, we have the 45 shade eyeshadow palette. She's big. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm not even gonna play with y'all. When I saw this, I was like, oh, this is huge. Large palettes are not for me. And if you didn't know, I'm a Blend Bunny affiliate. I do get PR from them. I do have I do love the brand. So I have a bias towards Blend Bunny. But you guys already know, I can't be anything but like real. I wasn't in love. For a couple of reasons. The first one being that this is a huge palette. It is extremely large, and in a lot of ways, at first glance, it seemed extremely duplicative. If you have the Blend Bunny Blends palette, if you have any of their like palettes really, I'm sure that there are going to be shades in there that you can probably replicate. Now, one thing Blend Bunny is really good at is not duplicating shades. So when it comes to, even though there are a number of rainbow palettes in the lineup, there are so many different undertones within each palette that you're not going to get an exact dupe of like the shade. So it's going to be different because the undertone, even the depth is going to be slightly different. That being said, if you are a regular makeup consumer, I don't know if we necessarily need all of that. I had to really step back from looking at this original like release and be like, well, who is this for? Because it's not for me. And I say that as a regular, smegular consumer who just wears makeup recreationally. And looking at Ellis Atlantis, who is a drag queen, a drag artist, phenomenal artist at that, I should say. The style of makeup that they do is so, honestly, out of this world. It's spectacular. The detail, the artistry, the like glam of it all, this palette makes sense. Like, if you really look at who the artist is, same with, like I said, for Amy and Adept, where it's like, this isn't for me, but I understand it because I understand, Amy, from having looked at her work. I see the same thing here with this palette and this release. Like, this was created by a drag artist, a drag queen, so it makes sense. And this also kind of like gives you everything that you would ever need. This is the one rainbow palette to end all rainbow palettes. It kind of is. Now, what I don't know. I feel like for me, I may have liked this a little bit more had it been two separate palettes. I think the fact that the palette is so large is what kind of got me, because even when I got it in PR, it's not exactly one that you can hold with one hand and do your makeup, because it does end up being a little bit heavy. And I got tendonitis, so my wrists don't be wristing the way that they used to. So having to hold the palette is a lot. So you have to literally have it laid out on a table to apply makeup. But I do think that if you are a makeup artist, if you are doing makeup on clients, if you are into very artistic, detailed looks that really bring the drama, bring the glam, this is going to be the palette, the only palette that you ever need. And we all know one thing about it, Blend Bunny is going to give us shades that blend. It is primarily mattes, as most of the Blend Bunny, if not all of the Blend Bunny palettes are. There is one center row of shimmers, which all do seem a little bit light. And looking at the swatches DeAndre Nicole did, they are a little bit on the icy side for deeper complexions. But again, taking who the artist is into account, it makes sense. I do appreciate that there are two rows that does allow this to be a little bit neutral. Like there's a gray row and gray. The last row actually is broken up into grays and browns, so you can get neutral looks out of this. So you can go from very colorful to like basic neutral looks as well. So I think I was saying, I wish that this was like if they had broken this up into two little books where you had that kind of like warm side with the reds and the orange and the yellows, and then the cool side with the purples and the blues and the greens, and you could pick and choose which palette you wanted, that might have worked better for me, just in terms of like the sizing of it. But I told you guys, I'm gonna be honest, and I don't love everything that Blend Bunny puts out. You guys know that for a fact. And I'm always gonna give you guys my raw opinions. I do have it in PR, like I said, so I will test it, I will create some looks, I will talk about the quality of it, but would I have picked this up on my own is probably the question that you're asking. Honestly, probably not. Not the palette, at least, but the blushes I would have picked up. So I said the blushes were $26 a piece, and I do think that this is perfection. What I love about this is that you get the warm, so the orangey, reddish blush option, or the pinky blush option. So that way you can mix and match, and you get 3 shades, which like increase in depth. So you really do have the option to go in and get it as light or as dark as you want. You could also, if you're my complexion, to probably get away with using the lightest pink shade as a pink under eye setting powder. So I'm very excited to play with the blushes. Those were what I was most interested in, aside from the lashes from this release. So definitely very excited by the blush trios. Then there is a Celestial Cheek Glaze. I'm not sure what this is. I don't know what a cheek glaze is. It looked creamy. It looked like it's supposed to be a highlighter blush combo. Maybe it's supposed to be a highlighter, or maybe it's a blush topper. Not entirely sure. I'll have to do some research. Just so you guys know, I got the package. It's sitting in the box. I have not read up on the collection. So when I do my full like first impressions video, I will have more details on what these things are supposed to do. But yeah. So yeah. It's a pink shade. I wonder why they chose that one. I wonder, I have to go see if Ellis has like a video or reel or something talking about the inspiration behind this palette and this collection, because I'm very curious as to how this came about. Not in terms of like how they got connected with Blend Bunny, but like how they thought through this palette and this whole collection. That being said, I will pop up some pictures of Ellis and their like creation, so you guys can really see like this is drama. This is everything. Like I could only dream to be this talented with makeup, you guys. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, now that we've appreciated the like literal perfection that their like artistry is, let's move along because we gotta wrap up this video. So I think there are 3 last things I want to touch upon. First and foremost, we have a date for the lethal release. I think, maybe. Not even a date. They just gave us a month. So Avatar is launching May 2024. That's in a couple of, it's a week or so, I guess. Jesus. And we still have no idea what they're giving us. They have sneak peeked some black and whites of products, of swatches, I should say, and we still don't know what we're gonna get. I am so ticked off and irritated by how this is being sneak peeked. It's quite annoying, just in my personal humble opinion, and I'm practicing all the patience that I can, but I have to say it's just very annoying the way that they're going about this. And what made it even more annoying is that while they were telling us to wait for this Avatar collection, they just dropped a whole different palette on us. They gave us the Mellow Grove collection. Mind you, they like talked about it, and I think like a week or maybe a couple days later was like, here it is. And I'm like, if y'all could do that for Mellow Grove, why couldn't you do that for Avatar? So we have the Mellow Grove collection, which I think is like the lighter version of another palette that they came out with. It's available now. It is $45. It seems like there's also a mascara, like colored mascara, as well as a blush cleaner that's a part of this collection. I am not interested in this. And I think the reason why I feel strongly about not being interested in it is not that it's because it's a bad color story. It's literally because I'm waiting for Avatar. That's it. Like, I have become so hyper-focused on this Avatar collection that I don't give a good goddamn about anything else that Lethal releases until they tell me what the hell is in the Avatar collection. So I could care less about anything that they put out because all I want to know is what is coming out in the Avatar collection. So, I mean, it definitely saved me some coins because I did not buy that. I did not. No, I didn't. And lastly, I think, Adept Cosmetics gave us Smoke Sessions too. So, you know, every year they come out with a 420 release. Is this for 420? I think so. I think this is their 420 release. So, every year they come out with a 420 release. So, we have a Smoke Sessions 2 palette, which is just a purple palette. I'm glad that it's not green because that was the whole thing about the Smoke Sessions palettes in the past is that, you know, it's based on 420, smoking weed, all that. So it's always been like a green palette. This one is just a purple palette and it's a monochromatic purple palette. I don't know if you necessarily need this. Y'all know how I feel about the Adept Cosmetics formula. They just be doing too much sometimes and it's very inconsistent and they are not exactly a cheap brand. So was not interested. But in addition to the Smoke Sessions palette, it looks like they have some, what are those pot things? Gel eyeliners. So they have some gel eyeliners. Metal eyes. Are those some metal eyes? I guess those are liquid shadows. Maybe. And what did interest me, because I could care less about Melt's makeup at this point, is they have a green fanny pack. I want that green. I guess they call it a crossbody sling. That's a fanny pack, y'all. If you know, you know. So, a neon green fanny pack. I actually have the original fanny pack that they brought out in the black. It's really nice. But I do think that the leather is like, I mean, it's not real leather. It's also peeling a little bit, but it's neither here nor there. I do wear it a lot. I wear it all the time. I want this neon green one. Yes, I do. So, they have a neon green one. I was able to get the black one because it went on like super clearance, and I think I paid $10 for it. So I'm going to wait for this one to go on super clearance as well so I can buy my neon green fanny pack. And they also have a long sleeve shirt. I don't know what the price of that is, but I would like it if the back didn't say so high. Because it kind of reminds me of the Pat McGrath long sleeve shirts that she has, which I absolutely love as well. And if these are just as high quality, it could be cute. I just don't want a shirt that says so high on the back. I don't want that. Pat's shirts actually have like her beautiful kind of like Egyptian hieroglyphic kind of markings on it, which I find to be more interesting than just a so high. That's not me. But yeah, so that's what Melt came out with. It's available now. 100% sure that it didn't sell out. So yeah, let me know if you bought anything from that collection. Okay, let me move back into the middle because we are coming up on 45 minutes and your girl is done. Okay, so those are all of the new makeup releases, you guys. I don't think I actually really talked about how they would go on sale. I really just wanted to, at least for this one, just share my opinions because all of these brands, they're doing things, man. They are doing things. I am hoping to like pause, eat lunch, and then come back and film my haul because I have so many things that I've bought over the last couple months, honestly since like the beginning of the year, that I want to show you guys so that I can actually start using them. And I have done a lot of shopping this past month. I will be very upfront and honest on it. I'm not proud. I'm not, but it is what it is. So I think even going into May, it's going to be like a no buy, extreme low buy month for me because I've already bought all the things I needed to buy and then some. So that's where we're at. But let me know down in the comments, you guys, any of the products that I talked about, are there any of those things that interested you? Have you picked them up? Do you plan on picking them up? What are your thoughts on all of the new makeup releases that have hit the market? And like I said, if there's anything that I forgot to talk about or that I missed that you want to hear my opinion on, leave that down in the comments as well. As always, thank you guys so much for rocking with me. It is always a vibe. It's always a good time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. And as always, I appreciate you all so much more than you know. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!